Bronson FFA chapter, located in Levy County, Florida, annually participates in the Forestry Career Development event, made possible by the Florida FFA Association. This CDE is composed of 5 main components. The dendrology section, also known as tree or leaf identification, challenges students to use various techniques to identify each of 40 selected tree species native to Florida. Some techniques include physical touch, recognition of leaf structures, vein analysis, and smell.
Serrated.
Yeah, the back is greener rather than whitish, and it does have serrations, so big difference. What color flowers does the loblaw they have? Red.
Another facet of the Forestry Career Development event is tool identification. Students are expected to be familiar with up to 40 tools used in the forestry industry. The next component is pest and disease identification, also known as forest disorders. There are many common pests and diseases that have been known to pose risks to forest species. For this contest, students will be expected to identify up to 40 forest disorders, including various caterpillars, worms, leaf spots, beetles, and more. Compass and pacing is one of the most beneficial skills that students learn through their participation in the Forestry Career Development event. This student is learning to find the correct azimuths on his compass. He paces off his steps in chains. There are 66 feet in one chain. He will use this data to determine the slope from point A to point B. Timber cruising is a component of the Forestry CDE, where students learn to properly measure pine trees using a Biltmore stick. The numbers on a Biltmore stick correspond with the circumference of the tree. With this information, students can classify the tree as either pulpwood or saw timber.
Career development events are opportunities for students to be able to experience various careers in agriculture. As they get ready to go to college, some students don't have an opportunity to see a lot of those things. So forestry is one of those careers that in our area, it's a huge business with the Goethe State Forest next to us. And so there's a good possibility that a lot of these students may choose forestry as a career. There are basically 5 areas in this career development event. You have Biltmore, you have Compass, pests and diseases, tools, and dendrology. And so basically you're teaching the kids all these identification applications, and there's also a test component where they have a study guide that they actually have to study. But all these different areas that they have to know are good tools that they could use later on in life.
My favorite part of the Forestry CDE event would be probably memorizing all the different tree species, because for one, I am very good at memorizing, and some of the names are really funny to me. Practice is very important because in able to succeed in some of the actual parts of the contest, like for example, pests and diseases, sometimes you can't find all of those and you need to study to be able to see what they look like and to be able to identify them if they have them in the contest.